If you ask any football player what is needed to be a great athlete, he'll say something along the lines of speed, agility, strength, endurance, and passion for the game. But he probably won't say dance. I'm here to argue differently. Dance requires all of these elements and so many more. A dancer must have strength, balance, endurance, agility, core strength, flexibility, and coordination, all while looking graceful. So, if the two are so similar, then why wouldn't a football player dance? Now, I know what you're all thinking. Asking a 200-plus-pound man to put on pink tights and a tutu is absurd. But that is not my intention. It is my hope that by explaining the cross-training benefits of dance, athletes will understand its worth. A dancer's work ethic is very similar to a football player's. They both train their bodies daily in rigorous exercises and repetitions. They both strive to push their limits and learn new techniques. They are coached, and much is expected of them each day, each game, or each performance. Though they move with different qualities, they are extremely similar. Take a plie, for example, which translated from French means to bend. This dance movement focuses on bending the knees while maintaining hip rotation, core strength, and arm coordination. Football players also plie, though they use a different technique than dancers do. Just think, to get on the line, linemen have to plie. They must also maintain core stability and hip, knee, and ankle alignment to avoid injury. Notice here the angle of flexion in the knees of these linemen, compared to the flexion of a dancer in plie. Really, the only difference is the type of musculature supporting the movement. A dancer's strength comes primarily from the core, while a lineman's strength is in his quads. Another example of this type of plie flexion happens whenever receivers have to jump to catch the ball. Every jump begins and ends with a plie. By cross-training in dance, players could learn how to hold their body through core strength and alignment and apply these new findings to their actions on the field. When applying these new dance techniques, linemen could hit their opponents with more force, and receivers could make catches that didn't seem possible before. Chaînés are another example of where dance and football coincide. Translated, chaîné means chain or links, which makes sense because chaînés are a style of turn that move across the floor sequentially. When executing chaînés, dancers must maintain balance, coordination, core strength, and spatial awareness. All of these elements are used in football as well, especially spatial awareness. Imagine a receiver running toward the end zone to catch the ball and potentially score a touchdown. While in the heat of this moment, he has to continually turn his head and check to see where the ball is and then adjust his path, all while avoiding a tackle. In other words, he has to be spatially aware. By using the concept of spatial awareness learned from chaînés, he can move with more agility and anticipate his next move quickly. Petit Allegro is the area of dance where I first realized how similar dance training is to football. Petit Allegro translates to small quick jumps, and there are 5 styles of jumps that are used in Petit Allegro, all of which are put into different combinations and are performed moving about the space at a quick tempo. These styles of jumping train agility, quickness, spatial awareness, coordination, and core control. When I see Petit Allegro, I think of football players doing ladder drills. The players move with speed and agility through the rungs of the ladder, but they aren't gaining spatial awareness or the agility of turning the body through space. They are gaining agility through forward, backward, or sideways motions, but they are limited to the latter. By training in Petit Allegro, they are learning to keep their body upright and move through space with agility, control, and speed. Here is a great visual comparing dance to football. Odell Beckham Jr., a wide receiver for the New York Giants, made this astonishing catch in the 2014 season. The inset picture shows a dancer executing a cambre. Cambre means arched, which seems pretty self-explanatory here. This comparison clearly shows how similar dance and football are. Without knowing it, Odell was using dance techniques to move his body this way in order to catch the pass. Just imagine if he actually had dance training, how much more he could accomplish. If the physicality hasn't convinced you of the importance of dance cross-training, then maybe the health benefits will. Dance works the body in unique ways, using muscles that aren't accessed by most sports training. Dancers must maintain a high cardio level throughout a class or performance, and football players must do the same. In both dance and football, the heart is challenged in intervals. A dancer executes an exercise and a player runs a play. Then there is downtime where the coach or teacher is explaining something, and then the athletes reset to try again. Using the heart in this way helps build cardiovascular strength and endurance. This built endurance is then used during a performance or game. So, I've mentioned how dance training will encourage the athlete to use different muscle groups than he is used to. This would normally cause some discomfort and soreness, but dance training pushes past soreness by having the dancer stretch before and after each class. Lactic acid, which is what builds up and causes muscle soreness, is broken down when the muscle is properly stretched. By learning how to stretch and how to use proper alignment while moving, a dancer can usually avoid injuries to the body. If a football player was aware of these techniques, he could translate them to his training on and off the field and reduce the risk of both soreness and injury. So, I guess the next question would be, how do you convince a football player to dance? Well, first, you would explain all the benefits that I've mentioned previously, and then you would give him a history lesson. 3 professional football players, Lynn Swann, Herschel Walker, and Steve McClendon, have outwardly spoken about their dance training. Though they aren't the only players that have danced, they are the few that have shared their appreciation for dance during their professional careers. Lynn Swann, a wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers from 1974 to 1982, took dance for 14 years and was passionate about his dance training. He attributes this training for giving him great body control, and he comments that he couldn't have made certain catches without such body control and anticipation. He states, "If I wasn't going to be a dancer, then let my athletic play be set to music and let me dance then." Herschel Walker is a Heisman-winning running back that played for the Dallas Cowboys, Minnesota Vikings, Philadelphia Eagles, and New York Giants from 1986 to 1997. He took cross-training to a new level during his football career. Not only was he training for football, he also had a black belt in Taekwondo, he was an MMA fighter, and he made a dancing debut with the Fort Worth Ballet, a professional dance company. He studied ballet for about 10 years, comparing the physical training to that of MMA fighting. He credits his dance training to developing muscles that aren't used in other training, noting that people don't realize how difficult dance training really is. Steve McClendon, a defensive tackle, played for the Pittsburgh Steelers and now plays for the New York Jets. He also cross-trains in dance. He began dancing as a senior in college to satisfy a college credit and immediately saw the benefits. He noticed how dance was strengthening his knees, ankles, and feet, and he is still training in dance today, saying it's harder than anything else he does. Aside from Swann, Walker, and McClendon, 16 professional football players have appeared on ABC's Dancing with the Stars. Emmitt Smith, Hines Ward, and Donald Driver each won the competition and were praised for how well they adapted to dance techniques. History has proven the success of dance cross-training for football players. With my experience teaching dance to the synchronized skating and men's hockey teams at Western Michigan University, I know that the players would enjoy the training and learn to share this passion with me. While working at an extremely deep level, dance training is fun and energetic, and players would challenge and push each other to exceed their boundaries. They will gain new skills and develop new, lean muscles, which will only enhance their playing on the field. Any extra training to the current training regimen will only help give the team a competitive advantage. So let's build a stronger team together. A team that is unmatched by any other opponent. A team that will make history for its use of dance cross-training. A team that moves differently than all other opponents. Together, we can build this team and be unstoppable.